So I currently have the game paused and we are in Granite Falls. We've been talking about this camping trip for a long time and I paused it so you could see who all is here. Of course, like true Komorebi men, the Komorebi men are already in their bathing suits. I don't know what it is specifically about the Komorebi family and their relative, but if they see a body of water on sight, they are jumping in the pool. But we have King Harry here, we have Prince Braydon, we have Prince Fuko. Liu Wei decided to accompany Fuko, which why is he here? I'm not really sure, because Braydon didn't have anybody accompany him, and he could have perhaps had Marquis Duncan come because he also got into a fight with some of the Komorebis. And then we have Hamish here. Hamish said, hey, you know what? This is a good excuse for me to get away. Oh, actually, I need to add Hamish to the vacation. So let me do that real quick. Okay, but yeah, so we're gonna kind of just let Hamish, oh, I don't know what that was about, but we're gonna let Hamish do his own thing. Hamish, as we could see earlier, he kind of likes to get away and decompress, and I think that's been something more recent since his father passed. That is how he came across that situation earlier that happened with Duchess Winnie. So we'll see. Oh, the butler decided to come too. Okay, period, Mr. Butler. He said, let me get to work, child. This is a big ass cabin. It really is. I think, I could be wrong, and if I am, I will say so in the description, but I believe that Miss either Miss Griffey or Kate Emeralds made this beautiful cabin. But of course, for rich people, you know, common folks like us, we couldn't afford to be in a cabin of this caliber. This is the most luxurious cabin I have ever seen, and they're only gonna be here for like 2 days. So absolutely over the top ridiculous, but it is like super stunning. So again, the point of this trip is for Braydon and Fuko to reconcile, because at the end of the day, they're going to be two monarchs of two kingdoms that are supposed to be in an alliance. So they have to get it together if they're going to make this thing work. And also on top of that, their families are supposed to be integrated. So they got to do better. Harry is here because he's kind of like the middle ground, unbiased facilitator. He's not going to stay for the full 2 days because he has a kingdom to run himself, but he wants to be certain he can back this thing up with confidence. So he's kind of just chilling. Let me pause it real quick. Oh, it is paused, but look at how gorgeous. Look at how freaking stunning. This cabin, quote unquote, is off the chain. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. And for these rich, regal royals, this cabin is probably no big deal. They might have even been underwhelmed by it. I don't know, but this is just so breathtaking to me for a cabin, bro. The builder really ate and really left not a single crumb. Okay, so I'm actually having Braydon and Fuko. Wait a minute, whoa. Okay, you guys, so I finally got them to cooperate. I have them baking a meal together because I feel like cooking definitely requires you to have to communicate, and then you also have to have a bit of patience with it. So we're gonna pretend that they're having a conversation while this is going on, because that way I can keep them here for a minute. So I have them in their like gym outfits because I figured that that would be more realistic. They're not in the limelight right now. Harry and Empress Lena went through great lengths to ensure. Why are they frozen? Why are you frozen? Why? So annoying. So stupid. But anywho, and then the butler's right there. He's probably like, child, why are y'all doing my job? For some reason, it's not letting me make them cook anymore, probably because they're still actively cooking. Hamish is still quite sad. So I think that Harry is trying to cheer his brother up. But even though it's been several months now since the father has passed, he feels this sense of sadness. And I think that that's very realistic. It would take a long time to heal from the loss of a parent. And I'm sure Braydon is probably a little bit annoyed because he's over here still cooking, and y'all see where Fuko is. He's over there dancing. So let's have him confront him. I think he would argue about whatever. He would argue about the meal not being done. And unfortunately, looks like it's gonna take place in front of everybody. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. Winnie just texted Hamish about sending him some money. Because you know, Hamish threatened to tell his brother. I think Winnie would know that they're together because maybe she texts her sister and was like, hey sis, what you doing? Where's your brother? Blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe she sent him that money trying to keep him hush hush. Well, you know, he's a little bit emotional. He's like in a range of different emotions right now. He's feeling a little mischievous. He's feeling very sad. And he's like, we're in a quiet place, so I could tell my brother if I so chose. So I think that Hamish, knowing that Harry is trying to give old girl a decent life, he probably would, oh my god, he probably would say something. Hamish is not as low down as Winnie is, but we'll see. Braydon was saying, hey, I need to talk to you, bro, because obviously not bro, because hella red bar. They're about to hash some shit out. Excuse my French. Getting a little bit angry because he feels like Fuko is not listening to him, and maybe Harry doesn't fully understand the extent of their issues with each other, but Harry's like, hey bro, I think that, you know, just give it another go, you know, talk to him again over some tea and crumpets, and he might be willing to listen, you know what I'm saying? Because Harry wants them to figure this shit out between themselves. And he's like, you know what? All right, bro, I'll try again. Oh, they're becoming good friends. Look at them. How cute. Okay, but anywho, Braydon, let's have you talk to Fuko. I wish they could sit their asses down somewhere and talk. Sit and chat here. Sit together. Let's sit together. I think it's just him and Fuko in this. Yes, period. Okay, and then we'll say that Hamish and Harry are gonna have a conversation. Whether that conversation involves Winnie or not, we'll find out a little bit later. Braydon is saying to Fuko that he does not appreciate how the whole purpose of them being here is to work on trying to at least be civil with each other, and he wouldn't even stop goofing off enough to help him cook. And he's like, you really don't have any respect for anybody, but I shouldn't be surprised, because I guess that Fuko, he thought in the beginning that Fuko just didn't really respect women in general, and Fuko kind of laughed at that, and he's like, you know, you're really a hypocrite, because not only did you decide to go off on me about your sister, but you didn't allow that other really hot bitch to make her own choice to sleep with him. And he's like, so how is that respectful? So they're like, let's just say they're past the whole dinner thing. Like, they start really cutting into each other about just their whole history with each other so far. So Fuko is like, you know, you act like you're so much better than me, and clearly they're talking over each other, because you see both their mouths moving. They don't have the humility to just stop and let each other talk. So they're kind of yelling over each other, and it's like, how productive is this really gonna be? But he's like, first of all, no woman that I know is a bitch, so I don't know who you're talking about. And you know, they're not trying to hear each other out. So he mentions that he's talking about Siren, because if you guys remember, in Coma Rebbe, when Siren came, Braydon stopped Fuko from sleeping with Siren, and Siren did not really say whether or not she was going to do something with him, but before she could even make that choice for herself, Braydon sent her home, and he kind of did that in a vigilante type of move. However, Fuko has a bit of a point. Like, you should let a woman decide what she wants to do. And so he's like, how are you any more respectful when you don't even let the women in your life make the choices that they want to make for themselves? Like, you're no better than me. But the difference between Braydon and Fuko is like, oh, you know, I can see where you're coming from with that. So I think Braydon's in a position where he wants to try to move past this, because he's like, bro, we're both away from our families right now. I have a wedding I gotta get ready for. I have other shit I could be doing. You have other shit that you could be doing. If we're gonna be here, let's make the most of it. This is the probably least busiest we're gonna be for the rest of our lives, because they know parents are getting older and they're next up on the block. Braydon has a somewhat of a demeanor of trying to decompartmentalize some of this stuff, and he's really trying to get that point across to Fuko, but unfortunately Braydon is also a hothead, so he's not communicating it in the best way that would be received by Fuko. Plus Fuko doesn't really have much respect for him, let alone for anybody else. Yeah, so in regards to that, once he realizes that he's talking about Siren, look at Louis instigating ass, nosy ass, acting like he's busy doing something. He hears them popping off. He's like, child, let me check this non-existent agenda that I have so I can be in on the scoop. Nosy ass motherfucker. But anywho, so Braydon acknowledges, damn, you know what? I didn't think about that before. You're kind of right with the siren thing. I didn't think about that. I quote unquote made a choice for her. But he's like, but child, why would she want to sleep with a pig like you? And Fuko is like, well, bright one, that was her choice to make, not yours. And you made that choice for her. So clearly she likes pigs. She might have wanted to sleep with me. Braydon was like, okay, well, I'll admit that you're right on that. Fuko's like, that's funny. You admit defeat. I win. I knew I would be a more superior king than you anyway, but how satisfying is that? That you admit that I win. And Braydon is like, bro, is that really all that you see me as a competition?
What a fucking idiot.
So he's now kind of seeing that, like, maybe Fuko is trying it most with Braydon because they're both crown princes. Harry,
can you get out of the way, please?
Not him trying. Wait a minute. The ghetto. Why is he sitting there dancing during this? Child, Harry's a little bit non-confrontational, but I think that these boys are just trying to be nosy. He is supposed to be like the mediator of shit, but sir, you're not doing anything other than dancing. Get out the way. But maybe Harry's like, the viewers need some comic relief. I'm sick. But anywho, we'll let Harry do his thing. But Braydon is like, if you see me as competition, you are truly a fucking idiot, because we are both future kings to two beautiful, diverse kingdoms. Why would you see us as a competition? You know, it would really be in the best interest for us and our kingdoms to get along, because despite what you and everyone else thinks, I will not let my future child marry a child of yours if you're showcasing signs of behavior like this in the future. And Fuko is like, child, me showcasing signs like this in the future? Hi, pot meet kettle. Kettle meet pot, because you're known as the hot-headed misogynist globally, okay? I'm known as a sleazy one. I'm known to be, you know, a little bit of a thought or whatever, but you're known to be misogynist based off how you treated Siren. So who the fuck are you to think that you're so much better than me, bro? You're not. Thank you, Harry. Get out the way. But Braydon, he's still putting up that like tough demeanor, but he's like, damn, a misogynist? I'm known as a misogynist? Like, that actually hurts Braydon to hear that. But he's like, damn, I didn't realize that. I guess if that's the image I'm getting, I guess I'm not any better than you. Because what man wants to blatantly just be a misogynist, right? A lot of times when people are problematic, they want to be problematic without having the title of being problematic. Like, if somebody's racist, they want to be overtly racist, but they don't want to be called a racist. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Braydon is like, damn, I didn't realize I came across this way, it shows he wants to take some accountability for that. Whereas Fuko, he's like, yeah, I'm a thought. I don't give a damn what people think. But he knows he's not shit, you know? But he doesn't try to act like he's, well, I guess he kind of does act like he's better than everybody, but in regards to his status, not his behavior per se, because he's like, I'm the crown prince. Now look at Hamish, Jesus. Whereas Braydon was unaware, and now he's been made aware, like, damn, okay. So maybe we might even see him reconcile with Siren at some point, but he has not spoken to Siren since that big blow up that they had. But anywho, Fuko is like, it's funny that you're getting ready to get married so quick, because that poor Abigail that you're marrying, Braydon is like, you better keep my wife's name out your mouth, you know? Because at this point, they see each other damn near as husband and wife. They're getting married very, very soon. So he's like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Big Will Smith energy. Like, he's like, I will whoop your ass behind her.
It's Adeline, bitch.
Not no Abigail, bitch. So he'll pop off and get a little ratchet behind Miss Adeline, because he really does love her very genuinely. And Fuko is like, oh, please relax, you colonizer. I'm not going to be talking about her much more. I just do it to get a rise out of you, and clearly it works. Fuko picks up on Braydon's hot-headedness, whereas like Fuko does not really he's more like cynical with his poor behavior. Whereas it takes Braydon to a place of anger, which is why they tend to fist fight. Braydon is just like so shocked that he would take so much pleasure out of being such an asshole. And he's like, bro, who the fuck hurt you? Like, why are you such a fucking asshole? Like, why are you so evil? Your family seems so lovely. Like, he's gotten to know Song very well and they're good friends. And Adeline is also good friends with Song. He's like, the rest of your family seems so lovely. Who the fuck hurt you? Why are you so evil? Because it bothers him. Like, Adeline is somebody he deeply loves. So why are you taking joy out of even being evil towards my wife who's not even here? When he brings up Song, you know, clearly Braydon doesn't know about the dynamic between Song and Lu Wei, wherever the hell his ass is. Thankfully, she's not around, but it would be bold as fuck if she was, because Fuko is like, oh please, that trash is merely a commoner. Who cares about Song? Which is really fucked up because he and Song are very close in age, so Song is very different in demeanor in comparison to him. And interesting how he made that comment and then Lu Wei's back over here. I bet you he wouldn't be slick enough to say that shit again. But I think that Braydon would probably get even more loud considering that he just noticed Lu Wei pop back up. And he said, actually, she's very lovely, very humble, very sweet, very kind, very intelligent, very brilliant. And you could learn a lot from your commoner cousin. How dare you speak about my friend in that way? So I think that is very interesting and bold and kind of wild that that moment just took place in front of her father, because he might even be thinking like, why the fuck does Braydon hang out with my daughter? So that might actually make Lu Wei a little bit mad. I'm sick. Fuko is still not, he's still in that cynical place. I guess Harry's like, child, I need my popcorn because I might have to step in. But Fuko is like, you know, I really admire your advocacy for those that you deem relevant. It's really charming. And Braydon is like, I can't say that there's anything charming about you. Fuko's like, well, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm a tough cookie. I have to be, as I have a whole empire to run one day. My kingdom is a lot bigger than yours, and you have to have a tough exterior to gain respect. That would kind of explain somewhat why he feels the need to kind of one-up Braydon, because he feels like, I have to be this strong, militant type asshole, which it doesn't make much sense logically, but maybe in Fuko's head it makes sense that he has to play tough guy because he's going to be seen as this leader who has these expectations placed upon him. And Braydon is like, that's actually not true, because look at your mother. She's an excellent empress and your people love her, and she's respected well by nations all over the world. And do you know why? And Fuko's like, oh, so now you know my mother better than me. Well, tell me why then, Braydon. And Braydon is like, it's because she showcases respect for others. If you want people to respect you, you have to respect others. It's a very simple concept. And Fuko's like, well, damn, when you say it like that, I guess I sounded kind of stupid, huh? And Braydon is like, yeah, more like psychotic, but I guess stupid works too. Now, I think that they would cool down a little bit. As you can see, it's literally Sunday morning, so they talk, even though they were standing up most of this time. You got to use a little bit of imagination and creativity with The Sims, right? So you could imagine they were sitting down talking at some points and whatnot, but they talked for several hours, this conversation. What I shared with you guys was just, of course, the highlighted points, but basically they kind of decompartmentalized the roots of their issues, and we determined that like Braydon really had a lack of self-awareness, which would be kind of reasonable because, again, in Braydon's household, they really did not check many of his behaviors, and they didn't really navigate through emotional conflicts and whatnot. And the consequence of that is that the Newcrest kids really don't know how to deal with conflict, and they don't know how to deal with their emotions. And then for Fuko, it seems as though he felt like he had to put on this tough exterior to showcase somehow that would make him a good and strong leader. And some of that might have even infiltrated from Lu Wei, because mind you, while he is Lena and Akiro's child, for most of Fuko's life, he has been mentored by Lu Wei, who is very, very problematic. So that is a large part of why Fuko has some of these like wild ass thoughts about what it looks like to be a man and a leader, and why he sees his father, who is so sweet and gentle, as a weak leader. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, they have kind of like realized like, oh shit, we're both flawed, and at the end of the day, we both have some good in ourselves that we could benefit from sharing amongst each other. So I think that a big humility moment would be for Fuko to take a step, and I think there's a interaction where you can help fix bad relationship or apologize. So I think that some of come on now, why can't I? Well, anyways, we'll say that it's Fuko doing it, even though I'm clicking on Braydon. Is it because they're paused? What's going on? They're frozen right now. Yo, this game is always a trip in some way or another. Why? Oh wait, they're still, wait. Guys, the glitch that they said that they fixed came back. This game is so unsettling. Like, wait a minute. So, anyways, okay, so we're gonna give an olive branch, and he's gonna congratulate Braydon on, despite him thinking that he's misogynistic, that he has somebody special that he can marry with or get married to. And then maybe he would say like, if it's still cool, I would love to still come to the wedding, maybe something like that. And this is his kind of like indirect way of saying sorry. So we'll have him do that. And Braydon is like, you are really psychotic, but we can look past some of these things and work on stuff. And so Braydon is like, child, you're really something, but I really appreciate, that's so nice. Wait, they hugged? I don't think that they would go that far that quick, because they really have hated each other's guts for pretty much the entire time that they've known each other, and it's been well over a year at this point. So let's have Braydon have a friendly interaction with him too, because they're realizing like, hey, we don't have to be besties, but we need to at least get along. Help fix bad relationship? Oh, I'm sick. I guess it would make the most sense to help him fix his bad relationship with Adeline per se, because he could actually do that. But Braydon's like, you know, I really appreciate that you helped me to see that I had some problematic behaviors too, and we can try to be accountability partners, bro, because we gotta have ourselves together if we're gonna run a whole kingdom, you know what I mean? So what? Wait, oh, not Harry just like, child, I'm gonna mind my business. Oh my god, literally they were just, now they're back to getting along again. Okay, maybe they just had to get that frustration out another time for old time's sake, but I guess that's a good depiction to showcase that, hey, this is gonna take a lot of work. Okay, no, stop being mean. Yeah, he can yell at you for that, because you shouldn't have whooped his ass like that, Braydon. I am so sick, but Braydon should apologize for that, because that was so unnecessary and it completely derailed the progress. But they're gonna work on themselves. Apologize, please. Apologize. Yes. Yeah, I think that after Harry saw that, Harry's like, child, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god, please work it out and stop being so fucking mean, because good grief. Yeah, it's gonna take them some time, you guys, but they've had literal almost 2 years worth of conflict that went unresolved, and I do think that they made some good progress with this trip. Fuko's like, man, I appreciate you saying that you appreciate me calling you out, and perhaps you can help me with self-awareness, because I would love to be able to acknowledge my wrongs in the way that you have. And I can't believe, especially after you whoop my ass one more good time, that I'm humbling myself enough to say this, but let's actually try to make the most out of this camping trip and try to get along. I think that would work. Braydon's like, bro, that would make life a fuck ton easier for both of us. And we don't necessarily have to take it as far as being friends per se. Stop it, Braydon. Jesus Christ. Stop it, bro. He's not even mean by nature, so like chill out. But anywho, Braydon's like, we don't even have to take it as far as being friends, but at least we have an understanding and can be civil towards each other. So let's just truth at this moment and kind of start afresh. And Fuko's like, yeah, let's truce. And now he's fighting with Harry. I just don't understand. Please stop it, bro. So Fuko also promised Braydon, I'm not going to be on any bullshit at your wedding because that's your special day, you and Adeline's day. I'm not going to do anything to fuck anything up. I promise. Braydon's like, wow, I really appreciate you saying that because you surely were not going to be welcomed in if you were going to act a fool. So I really appreciate that because I would really hate to have to whoop your ass at my wedding and have you escorted out and not have you be a part of that, especially since we're supposed to be family. They both kind of just laughed that off. Goes like, yeah, actually my future wife, Yumi Kim, will be there with me. She seems quite lovely actually. And Braydon's like, oh yeah? And Fuko's like, yeah, she spars with me on my nonsense, so I think I owe her an apology. She seems like she might actually be really nice, and I think I already fucking blew it with my stupid behavior. Braydon was like, well, to help melt things over, I can have Adeline meet her, and maybe even before the wedding to help make things a bit better. Fuko's like, bro, that would be so awesome. Maybe we can be friends. Braydon's like, don't be so hasty, bro. We just got to this point. Let's see if I can whoop your ass in some basketball or something first, or swimming or something. Fuko's like, bet, bro, let's go right now. I will whoop your ass mercilessly. And Braydon's like, I bet. So he and Fuko are gonna do some sports or something, and Harry, I kid you not, in his mind is just thinking, thank bloody fuck that they're getting along. And Harry's like, see, me and Empress Lena were so right. A little bit of nature and a little time out of the spotlight makes everything a bit better. So Harry is like elated